broadcasting live from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. This is Star City News live at 5, bringing you the latest in news, weather, sports, and entertainment. And now, Star City News.
Good evening. Welcome to Star City News. I'm Jenna Janes.
And I'm Johnnie Adcox. Here are today's top stories. UNL Chancellor Harvey Perlman introduced the state of Nebraska to a new athletic director, Sean Eichhorst, this morning at the UNL Visitor Center. Nebraska basketball coach Tim Miles and Tom Osborne were in attendance as we got our first glimpse at Osborne's successor.
Star City's own Joshua Kellums joins us live now. So, Josh, can you tell us about what happened this morning?
Yeah, sure. Eichhorst grew up in southwestern Wisconsin as a fan of collegiate athletics and even rattled off some former Husker greats he admired, players like Dave Remington and Mike Rozier. But the former Miami athletic director said he isn't letting the scale of this job cloud his vision and says his most important goal is to keep Nebraska competitive.
We will continue to compete for Big Ten and national championships in everything that we do, and we will compete with class, integrity, and sportsmanship, and with an unwavering commitment to the welfare of our student athletes.
Eichhorst will officially take over as Nebraska's athletic director on January 1st. He didn't discuss specific plans or expectations going forward, but says you don't reinvent the wheel at a place like Nebraska.
You know, my goal would be to make something that's already great better. And the only way to do that is to lead with values, have a vision, have a plan, have really good people in place, let them do their job and hold them accountable.
Chancellor Perlman echoed Eichhorst, saying it's the wrong choice to hire someone based on specific goals they may have.
You know, if you hire people and you try and get commitments as to what they're going to do, you're not hiring the right person.
It was only 2 weeks ago current athletic director Tom Osborne said he'd resign at the end of 2012. And then last Thursday, the university said Eichhorst would take over Osborne's position. Eichhorst says Osborne will play an important role in the coming months.
What better person to immerse myself in what this place is about than him?
Well, it's really interesting. One thing that was really kind of strange about this whole situation is that Harvey Perlman admitted he had only met Sean Eichhorst for the first time at the end of August, and here we are 6 weeks later with a brand new athletic director.
Something must have gone really, really well at that meeting, but I have to say, I'm kind of sad to see Osborne go.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that's the case in this one. Eichhorst must have really hit it home with Perlman.
I hope Perlman knew something. Thanks, Josh.
Thanks. Senate candidate Bob Kerrey is hoping to bring a little more than himself to Washington, D.C. Kerrey has announced his plan for a new Nebraska model that would push to restructure Congress into a nonpartisan structure, much like Nebraska's own legislature. The amendment would require Congress to organize in a nonpartisan fashion, put a 12-year limit on service, and limit spending on elections. Should Kerrey be elected and give his amendment proposal to Congress, it would take 2/3 vote in both houses to reach ratification.
Tonight, the Grand Island City Council will vote on an anti-discrimination ordinance. If passed, it will become illegal not to hire or rent to people based on their sexual orientation. A Nebraska Attorney General's office spokesperson says cities don't have the right to do this. A similar law was passed by the Lincoln City Council in May, was revoked, but the public will have a chance to vote on the issue this election in November.
And the series of national debates continues this Thursday when Vice President Joe Biden faces off against Republican nominee Paul Ryan. Biden is a veteran of debates, having 36 years in the Senate and 2 presidential campaigns in his back pocket, whereas Ryan has never participated at this level before, but has proved an effective speaker. The Democrats are hoping Biden can halt the momentum gained by Romney after last week's presidential debate. This debate will likely focus on the economy, foreign affairs, and variations in health care policies.
One of the issues in this presidential election year is the voter ID law, a law that some states have passed to make it mandatory that each person casting a ballot have a valid identification like a driver's license. Some people are saying this is unfair and violates a person's right to vote. One man who has been credited with establishing voter rights in this country is Ramsey Clark. He served under 2 presidents, Kennedy and Johnson. He is now on the phone, live from New York. Mr. Clark, thank you so much for joining us.
Good to be with you.
You too. What's your opinion of these voter ID laws?
I think they're restrictive. In a democracy, you want everybody to vote. And your real problem is not people voting twice, it's getting them to vote once. Of course, you have to prevent them from voting twice, and that can be a criminal offense. But your main need is to have everyone vote. And our votes are pathetically weak. We, in municipal elections, they're minuscule, and even in presidential elections, where our future will be determined in the future of the world to a considerable degree, we have turnouts. We're lucky if we get 60%.
Yeah, sir. Do you think these laws are politically motivated?
Sure. I mean, that's when people pass laws like that, they're thinking politically. Voting is political, so there's nothing wrong about it. But what they're trying to do is get advantage, and the people that they're going to be excluded are going to be poor people overwhelmingly, the people at the lower end of the economic scale, because they don't have cars, they don't have driver's license, they don't have identification.
Okay. I understand that you're coming to Nebraska this weekend on behalf of political prisoners Mondo Wilonga and Ed Poindexter, former Black Panthers in prison for the bombing death of an Omaha police officer. Why are you involved?
Well, it's I've been involved in justice for a long time, and it's a heartbreaking case. The time they've served already is beyond any humane concern, and even guilty or innocent. It's just if the crime was even worse, they've served much too long, and they ought to be freed. And you've got a hang up there on your law that has kept them in year after year when they should have been back home with any family they may have left.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Clark, for speaking with us today.
Thank you, and thanks for what you're doing out there.
Yes. Mr. Clark will be speaking in Omaha, speaking further about this issue at the Malcolm X Center at 3 o'clock p.m. on Saturday, October 13th.
Last night, Lincoln police responded to a call from the Lincoln Electric System that an alarm had been triggered at one of their substations. Sheriff Terry Wagner said when police arrived, they found copper wire sitting outside of a 3-foot hole cut into a chain link fence.
We recovered about $602 worth of various copper components from the substation, and $500 in damage was done to the fence and surrounding areas.
Police say Thomas Stajkovic and Crystal Hiles were found outside the station and have been arrested on charges of theft. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
For those of you looking for something to do this fall break, it might not be a bad idea to just stay here in Lincoln. Temperatures should rise up this weekend after we see a couple of chances of precipitation this upcoming week. I'm meteorologist Taylor Knust with Star City News. Jason Taylor will have all the details coming up next.
Star City News live at 5. Working out is the ultimate stress reliever for college students. The University Rec Center is a state-of-the-art facility for both students and faculty to stay in shape. The City Campus Recreational Center features the Cook Pavilion, a climbing wall, swimming pool, and many cardio machines and free weights. Yoga, Pilates, and Zumba are just a few of the full calendar of group fitness classes offered at the Rec Center. So come on, walk in and work out.
Explore Morrill Hall, located on the UNL campus.
The Capital Humane Society offers a wide variety of pets. From cats and dogs to rabbits and reptiles, the Capital Humane Society will help you find the right pet. With private rooms, you are allowed to meet and play with the animal of your choice. The Capital Humane Society offers adoption fees that are half the cost of a pet store. Call the Humane Society at 402-441-4488 or visit their website, capitalhumanesociety.org, for more information on pets that are currently available.
Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Visit the Education Abroad office or go online to find out more information. Education Abroad. Go big, go abroad.
Welcome back. It's National Collegiate Alcohol Awareness Week, and the University of Nebraska-Lincoln is doing its part to bring attention to students about drunk driving. Star City's Paige DeMacos joins us live from the UNL Campus Union with the latest. Paige, what was the point of all this anyway?
Well, Jenna, the point is that bottom line, teenagers are going to continue to drink, but the hope is that through events like this, they will start to make better decisions. Man, I love college. It's nothing new that college kids are drinking, but how are they getting home? That is the problem. UNL and the Lincoln Police Department came together this week to help students understand the consequences of their actions.
We're just out here with the health center trying to educate students on the effects of alcohol and encourage them to find designated drivers, not drink and drive, and be safe when they're out.
And educate they did by bringing out numerous activities to simulate intoxication levels. One thing that students can do is a driving simulation where it has you at a level above what you should be for driving with alcohol. Other activities included a beer goggle obstacle course that was very popular with the students, and one student was surprised at just how difficult it was.
It was really hard. I mean, I thought that I was going around the cones and I'd be knocking them over, and it's a lot more difficult than I thought it would be.
Even KFRX's Matt McKay got in the fun and enjoyed partaking in the driving simulation game. But all the fun aside, he had a message for the students.
Be smart, plan ahead, get a designated driver, and just think about the lives that can change if you do go out and make the decision like drinking and driving.
Like the lives of the people in this car, a family of 4 who crossed paths with a drunk driver.
This accident occurred back in January of 2002, where 2 families from Nebraska were on vacation down outside of Albuquerque, and a drunk driver crossed the lane and hit this car. The family, of course, they lost their lives, 4 individuals, where the drunk driver did survive.
Oftentimes that is the case, and that is a harsh message, but a message they wanted to get across today to the students. I'm Paige DeMacos, outside of the University of Nebraska Campus Union. Back to you, Johnny.
This week they will continue events on the campus green space. Thank you, Paige. It's looking a little chilly out there, so let's check in with Jason for the weather. Jason?
Now for Star City weather with meteorologist Jason Taylor.
Scenes like this have dominated the Nebraska landscape these past few months, with the last significant rainfall occurring nearly 1 month ago. According to the U.S. Drought Monitor, nearly 70% of Nebraska's surface area is in the excessive drought category. There does seem to be some light at the end of the tunnel, with a decent chance of rain and possibly some severe weather later in the week. And with El Nino conditions being forecast for the upcoming winter, a warmer and wetter than average future could possibly provide some relief. For Star City News, I'm Chief Meteorologist Ben Dornbach. Here's Jason Taylor with your weather.
Thank you, Ben. Well, there is actually some good news in this week's weather forecast. To start it off, we do have some mild temperatures within the next few days, and highs in the 60s. Then come Friday night and into Saturday, there is a chance of some showers and thunder showers. Some might even be a little bit severe. After that, as we go into the weekend and into our fall break next week, we should see some seasonably warm temperatures. Now, if we look at our regional temperatures across the area, we have 56 right now here in Lincoln, 53 in North Platte, only 42 up in Rapid City and 47 up in Sioux Falls, so a little bit colder further up north after the cold front passage earlier today. Now taking it back home, we have 56 here in Lincoln, 55 Grand Island, a little bit warmer down south with 61 in Fairbury, a little bit cooler further up north with 53 and 52 up in O'Neill. Now for tonight's lows, a bit colder than last night. Last night the lows were only in the low 40s. Now tonight should be below freezing again everywhere across the area. We only have 28 for Lincoln, 29 Fairbury, a little bit colder further up north with 26, 24 up in Sioux City. Now for our highs for tomorrow, somewhat of a similar story. We have 66 in Lincoln, 65 in Fairbury, maybe a little bit warmer further west with 70 out in Grand Island, 76 up in O'Neill. Now if we look at the satellite picture from this afternoon, you do see the jet stream, this cold dip, what we call a trough, in the northern central United States, giving some of the rain in Iowa and the Wisconsin area. We do still have a bit of that cloud deck. Now what I really want to point out with this is if you look way out west into California, there is a low pressure system that will be making its way into the southwest Four Corners and ejecting its way out into the plains as we go into the weekend, giving us those chances of rain showers and thunder showers and possible severe weather. Now here in Lincoln tonight, we should have a low of 28 under mainly clear skies, winds out of the west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now for tomorrow, 66, sunny, winds out of the west, then shifting to more southerly between 5 to 15 miles per hour. Now looking at the 7-day forecast, again, nice, mild, seasonable weather, highs in the upper 60s for the rest of the week. Come Friday night and into Saturday, the front passes, and we should have a decent chance for showers and thunder showers, considering how dry it's been, how little of rain we've been getting practically this whole summer. You really got to have your fingers crossed that we do get some rain Friday or Saturday, and given that it's a bye week and we won't have to worry about a game, so we really want our fingers crossed for that. And there is that slight chance of severe weather Saturday afternoon, mainly to the areas to the southeast and east. Then going on into our fall break, into next week, temperatures should be up in the 70s, so quite nice if you're around the area in eastern Nebraska. Jenna and John, back to you.
Thanks, Jason. Lincoln Fire and Rescue officials are doing more than rescuing people this week. They're educating kids.
The Lincoln Fire and Rescue officials are hosting a fire safety prevention week for children and adults. Last year, the Lincoln Fire and Rescue responded to over 500 fires, which cost over $23 million in damages. The Prevention Week teaches kids about fire safety.
It was that people just are aware of the potential for fire in their homes and that they have a plan in the event that they have a fire that they can escape. And those are the messages that we're sending out to the kids to take home to their families.
Although the effectiveness of this safety program is unknown, one thing is for sure.
We always hear about those stories where we've touched a child's life through our prevention activities and those educational opportunities, and we hear sometime later where they were able to call 911 in a case of an emergency, or if they had a fire in their home, they knew how to escape. The family was prepared to escape their home, and the outcome was the kind of outcome that we at the fire department like to see, is that it was a good outcome where everybody was safe at the end.
For more safety tips, make sure you go on their website. I'm Alicia Tessbaum reporting for Star City News.
Thanks, Alicia. One tip fire inspectors recommend is that people use power strips instead of surge protectors.
Coming up later in the show, Husker volleyball moves up in the national rankings.
And players speak against angry fans. Star City's Joshua Kellums will have more.
We'll be right back.
Love Library on the University of Nebraska-Lincoln's City campus is home to over 4 million books and hundreds of other resources. Let Love Library help you on your academic journey. So stop in today and see what Love Library has to offer you.
Folk, world, hip-hop maybe, blues, jazz, the latest techno, or maybe you're in the mood for some good political discussion. Whatever you are in the mood for, KZUM's programming is sure to have a show for you. With the help of volunteers and listener donations, KZUM brings diverse programming to the capital city on FM channel 89.3. Check out the programming schedule online at kzum.org and find the show for you.
I want to be the most prepared for my future job.
Career Services is happy to help you.
The UNL Career Services staff is trained to help you tailor your resume and cover letters and prepare for job interviews. Find job opportunities on Husker HireLink, the online job search service. Practice your interview skills and gain feedback through mock interviews. Connect with employers face-to-face through on-campus interviews and career fairs. Walk-ins are welcome, or make an appointment online. Located in the UNL City Union or online at unl.edu/careers.
Beauty. Imagination. Life. The Sheldon Museum of Art preserves, presents, and builds more than 12,000 pieces of American work. Located on 12th and R Streets, the Sheldon displays multiple exhibits yearly free of charge and welcomes people of all ages. Enhance your life and visit the Sheldon Museum of Art. For more information, please call 402-472-2461.
30 to 60 years. That's the sentence for former Penn State assistant coach Jerry Sandusky for multiple charges of sex abuse, child sex abuse.
Sandusky left the courtroom today in handcuffs and was taken to Center County Jail, where he will then be moved to Camp Hill State Prison. Last night, Sandusky released an audio statement to Penn State's radio station claiming he's innocent.
They can take away my life. They can make me out as a monster. They can treat me as a monster, but they can't take away my heart.
Last June, Sandusky's trial lasted 3 weeks and involved emotional testimonies from multiple victims. They said Sandusky molested them in the showers at Penn State, hotel rooms, and in his home. He was convicted on 45 of 48 counts. Sandusky openly accuses his victims of conspiring against him, and an attorney for Victim 5 says these claims are absurd.
My client came forward only after there was a knock on the door by the police, which led him to a grand jury room.
After his sentencing today, Sandusky used a football analogy, saying, "In the fourth quarter, you find out who will stand by you. For those still standing up for me, we will continue to fight."
Sandusky's sentence includes a fine of $1,700 to be paid to the State Victims Compensation Fund. He will be 99 before he can apply for parole. And now it's time for sports with Star City's Joshua Kellums.
And now, time for Star City Sports.
I'm Joshua Kellums, and this is your sports update. As we talked about earlier, new athletic director Sean Eichhorst was introduced to the university this morning at the UNL Visitor Center. Eichhorst is a former Wisconsin associate athletic director who worked under Barry Alvarez and was hired as Miami's athletic director in 2011. Eichhorst has received high praise from his former employers and had this to say about his hire. Quote, "I am humbled and honored to be chosen to lead one of America's best athletic programs and such a phenomenal university. I am so honored to become part of the Husker family." Nebraska volleyball moved up to number 3 in this week's AVCA coaches poll after the number 2 ranked Oregon Ducks suffered their first loss of the season at Stanford. Penn State kept the number 1 spot this week despite a close call against Illinois, sneaking by the Illini in 5 sets. A host of other Pac-12 teams moved around the AVCA poll, including undefeated Washington, claiming the number 2 spot, while Oregon fell to number 5. The Huskers play unranked Wisconsin October 12th at the NU Coliseum. And sticking with Nebraska athletics, Ohio State delivered Husker football its second loss of the season in dominating fashion this past weekend, winning 63-38 in Columbus, but only outgained the Huskers by about 60 yards. Despite holding the Buckeyes to 7 points in the first quarter, Ohio State's Braxton Miller stole the show Saturday, running for 186 yards on just 16 carries, while completing 7 of 14 passes for 127 yards and 1 touchdown. The Cornhuskers' Taylor Martinez went 15 for 25 for 214 yards and a touchdown, but threw 3 interceptions as the Husker offense struggled to keep up with Ohio State. Nebraska dropped out of the national rankings for the second time this year and has a bye week this week before they head to play Northwestern October 20th. That's it for sports. Back to you, Johnny and Jenna.
Thanks, Josh. Now let's see what's happening in the world of social media with Chi. Chi, what's going on?
It's a mission to the edge of Earth and space. A view only seen by few, but instead of admiring the earthly halo, one individual will make a record-breaking freefall.
It's called Red Bull Stratus, and the daredevil's name, Felix Baumgartner. Wearing only a spacesuit and a specially designed helmet, Baumgartner will freefall 120,000 feet to Earth. Putting this into perspective for you, the average passenger airplane flies at about 33,000 feet. That's 2.5 times higher that he plans on jumping. And he's doing this all in hopes of collecting medical and scientific data for the advancement of human flight, all while attempting to break 4 world records.
The hub for the Red Bull Stratus is in Roswell, New Mexico, and due to high wind speeds, unfortunately, today's jump was postponed. The announcement was made while Baumgartner's balloons were being filled up with air in anticipation for his ascent. October is Anti-Bullying Month, according to DoSomething.org. One incident of bullying happens every 7 minutes, and it's estimated that 160,000 children miss school every day due to the fear of an attack or intimidation by other students. But bullying isn't limited to kids, teens. It also includes adults. Last week, Wisconsin news anchor Jennifer Livingston took a stand against her viewer and made some comments. But she isn't alone. Other people across the country and celebrities picked up the fight with her. Demi Lovato tweeted, "Jennifer Livingston is a strong, beautiful, and aspiring woman. Please watch this video." And Ellen DeGeneres added, "What a powerful message against bullying. I would love to meet you in person. At Star City, we want to know what you think of Livingston's stand against bullying. Tweet us at Star City News UNL." Former Clueless star catching some heat for a political tweet, Stacey Dash, better known as Dion from 90s comedy Clueless, tweeted Sunday, "Vote Romney, the choice for your future." The statement accompanied by a photo of Dash in a red bikini and American flag. For some, it's a harmless tweet for support, but not for Romney opposers. They took to Twitter swinging. At Token12GA tweeted, "Now I'm bummed. At Real Stacey Dash hates Big Bird. I wonder if it's the color, the feathers, or both." Both of the responses to Dash's tweets were racial attacks, but keeping it cool, Dash responded to her haters, "My humble opinion, everyone is entitled to it." I'm Chi Riley with Star City News. That's your entertainment fix. Back to you, Double J.
Thanks, Chi. You know, I'm really upset that that balloon launch didn't happen. It seemed so cool.
I suppose so. That was a little bit too far.
Yeah.
A little too high up.
All right, stay tuned for the break.
Stay tuned for more Star City News.
Cats are abandoned for different reasons, but euthanasia doesn't have to be the answer. The Cat House provides a no-kill, no-cage alternative to otherwise harsh conditions orphaned cats are subject to. You can do your part in supporting these orphans by volunteering, making a donation, or adopting one to take home. See our website for more information, and visits are always welcome. The Cat House. Help make a difference for cats in the Lincoln area.
We could be seeing some changes around the university in the near future. If you've checked your email, you may already know what the university is asking from you. We go to the newsroom where R.C. Hansen has the details.
Thanks, Johnny. Change is always occurring, and at the university, that's what's happening. Yesterday, Chancellor Harvey Perlman sent an email saying, asking what people would like to see improve on the university. And the University of Nebraska-Lincoln is partnering with Sasaki Associates to help with improvements. It is one of the most notable improvements going on around campus. Memorial Stadium's east expansion will give an extra 5,000 seats when completed in 2013, but expect to see improvements all around campus. Where you eat, where you go, and parking are a few things Chancellor Perlman is looking to make better. Some students like Danny Blaker take the bus due to the lack of parking and the cost of permits.
I think they could add more parking spaces and maybe make it a little cheaper, because that's why I avoid buying a parking pass. It's so expensive.
Transportation and parking aren't the only things the university is improving. New rec centers will be built on both campuses. The outdoor rec center will be located near the Teachers College, while East Campus is getting theirs renovated. Plans to build a new College of Business and Administration is underway. The new location is going to be at 14th and Vine Streets. With all the improvements, walking can be a concern. Going from one class to another is something students can see as a problem.
I don't think it's as big of a problem now as it would be in the future, because I know we're expanding, so I could definitely see it being more of a problem.
How a student learns is something that will be looked at as well. Access to resources will be made easier to students. Taking the survey will help the university decide what needs to be done to make the improvements. Perlman's goal is to have these improvements completed by 2017. He would also like to see enrollment increase to 30,000 by then. I'm R.C. Hansen, live in the newsroom for Star City News. Back to you, Johnny.
Hey, thanks, R.C.
Well, that's our news for tonight, and we won't be back next week. It's fall break, but after that, we'll see you again. I'm Jenna James.
And I'm Johnnie Adcox. Have a good night.